How much did you say you guys generate range a year?
Anywhere from like 13 to 15 million.
Look what you had done. Playing with my feelings got me thinking you the one. I swear you're doing all of this just to have some fun.
Boys and girls, men and women, this video is going to be so exciting that I got two mics on me. Look, right now we're about to go meet with a gentleman by the name of Ken.
Cold heart, pretty face, love to chase, big mistake, no give or take, they all the same, for goodness sake.
Got fired from 2 jobs. Started his own company, is now producing well over 15, 20 million a year. I'm talking he got employees, a whole operation, everything. His story, very inspiring. This is actually one of his whips behind me too. So you guys are up for a treat. Damn, look at this, bro. What's up,
big boy?
I just put a body kit, forged carbon whips.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going, man?
I'm good, I'm good. Man, these are the whips, that's brand new?
Yeah, brand new, 2024.
That is crazy. McLaren 750S, huh?
750S, Mantis green, velvet interior. This thing's pretty sick.
Now before, I want to see these whips real quick, but for the people seeing you for the very first time, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
Tell them a little bit of your story, just a little.
Yeah, my name is Ken Manessi. I'm the owner of Direct Funding Now. We run a small business lending company over here in Irvine, California. So we help small businesses basically get access to capital nationwide, and we've been doing that for almost 10 years now. Close to $1 billion funded to small businesses, and it keeps growing every single year.
$1 billion. I know it wasn't always easy for you guys, right? Like, I remember like we had his brother in one of the videos back then. We ran into him, but you guys started like in a small apartment, or how, like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so long story short, I worked in a sales company, the same product, selling the same deal. I figured, hey, I can probably do this myself. And me and my business partner started off in a 1-bedroom apartment over in Irvine. It just had the phones ringing, and we're selling deals, and we just organically grew it just by person, and
that is crazy.
Yeah, we really kicked off in 2016. By 2019, 2020, we had over 60 employees. COVID hit, changed the whole business around, and we had to kind of vamp everything, and ever since then, it's been, sky's the limit.
So when you were in that small apartment, how much money did you guys have under your name?
Dude, I probably had 40 grand saved in my name.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
40 grand to 15 mil now.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
So once you learn like a high value skill like sales or marketing or anything like that, I had the confidence to go start something, because if I knew I failed, I can just jump back into sales, right?
Yeah.
Like what's going to happen, right?
Because you had that skill.
100%.
Yeah.
So I knew I was be able to make like good paychecks and stuff in sales, but I wanted to kind of level up, and I basically took a leap of faith.
So I want to touch more on your story though, but let's check out these whips. Get the AP on the, look at this. That is hard, bro.
Just a little thing.
How much does this go for?
I don't know, maybe like 100.
He said
a little bit under. I don't know.
Let's take a drive. 1222, yeah, on my side.
You just got this.
Yeah, so I just got this last week. So I just sold my Huracan Evo Spider drop top, white. The thing was sick.
Yeah.
But they say if the doors don't go up, it's not it. You know what I mean? When you're dropping, $450,000 for a car.
$450 for this.
Yeah, right around there. When you're dropping that kind of money for a car, you want to make sure you like it. You know what I mean? So.
How much did you put down on this? What's your monthly payments look like?
Probably like 50K down. You got like 6K a month. Yeah.
A slight 6K a month?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thanks,
look at this baby right here.
Yeah, so this is just the family whip. My wife had the white and black one.
What year is this one?
2024.
24. This is the Escalade, huh?
Yeah,
how
brand
much
new.
do these go for? Like 120?
I think so, like 120, 130.
You don't know how you just buy some. And then you got the daily right here?
Yeah, so this is my daily. So wife's car with the kids, and so I just swap it out the kind of rides through the week. But yeah, this is the Lamborghini Urus 2023 matte white on yellow. Brake calipers, stitching, and has wood paneling as well. So I'd love to show you my house, but I got something a little bit bigger, a little bit more badass. We're gonna go check out my office in Irvine and give you guys a tour.
For sure, let's do it. I'm assuming that's your brother's car?
Yeah.
Where is he at, bro?
He's probably just hiding away. I told him to come out, but
Yeah.
She said run it back, say you like that, body intact.
So this is where it's at, huh?
Yeah.
This is where the bread is made. Dang, this is official.
Yeah, so this is almost 10,000 square foot.
Dope.
Yeah, it's big. We got the sign, custom sign all done. Offices, conference room, pool table. On here.
A little statue.
Hey, how's it going? Good. Yeah, so we got our sales floor over there. We got a bunch of employees working from home too, so we do that as well.
Okay.
And yeah, we got pool table, ping pong, we got snacks.
This is your team right here of employees?
Yeah, so
What
this
are
is
they?
our
Are they
this is our sales team. So they're just basically pitching our product, which is small business loans to small businesses across the United States. So we fund about 500 customers a month. So that's 500 businesses, right? Anywhere from $5,000 all the way to $2 million for that businesses. And the sales guys make a commission basically off each sale they get. And we just give them a lot of leads, a lot of opportunities, and so they can, make their dreams come true and make some good money.
My man, thank you for showing us the whips, the crib, a little bit of the crib, the office.
Yeah.
Amazing what you've built. But I want to know, I want to dive deep into your brain, your mind, how this all started. I know you touched on the story a little bit in the beginning, but you said you were working in sales before this whole thing started?
Yeah, so basically I got into mortgage sales when I was probably 21, 22.
Okay.
I was a server before at a restaurant, and then I was a server at 2 restaurants, and I was still broke, right? So I was just trying to do anything I could just to make some money, right, to pay my bills. I never had my car insurance or my license, everything, something was always going wrong, right? It seemed like no matter what, something was going wrong. So I finally got into sales, and that's the first time I saw when guys were making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month. And my eyes legitimately got opened up to the opportunity, right?
How'd you get into that?
Yeah, so one of my buddies was working at a sales place over in Irvine doing mortgage, and he's got me in as a straight entry role. I had no clue kind of what I was doing, you know what I mean? But I was hungry, I was desperate, and I needed to make money, right? You put all those three together, and you kind of mix it together, you might be able to make something out of it. So
absolutely,
yeah, I got into sales there, and then I got into this industry, which is business funding. I was only in it for probably about 2 years before I started this company.
Okay, so you were in sales for 2 years, you said?
Yeah, like a couple years, 3 or 4 years or so.
And how did you get really good at sales when you're in that moment right there?
Yeah, so I think it's just like anything, right? You're telling about YouTube, just starting out, you're doing this, you're doing that, right? That's the same thing that goes for any kind of thing you're doing in your life, right? So it just takes time to develop your skills, develop who you are as a person, and more importantly, your goals, right? Yeah. So it took a little bit, but I was a natural kind of talker. I'm good at kind of like explaining things, and maybe I just use that to a little my advantage, right? And I kind of just worked my way up, slowly but surely. I was able to, do better and do better, and then finally I got into this space, which that's when I finally realized, like, hey, I think I can make some real money in the sales position.
So when you're in that mortgage company for 2 years, I'm just trying to reverse engineer this.
Yeah.
So when you're in that mortgage company for 2 years, what was your first big check there?
Yeah, so I didn't have like any big checks there. It was like an opening position, and I went to go get my NMLS license. That's the mortgage license.
Right.
I failed that twice, and then I went to go take it a third time, and the company laid off like 30 people, and I was one of them. So I had to make a transition into a new industry, or keep doing the mortgage thing. And I just happened to find out about business financing because my brother, business partner now, was in the space, and that's what got me my introduction to business financing.
Okay, so you got laid off.
Yep.
You went into business financing, and then was this a company first, or you just started it? You started it.
No, yeah. So I worked for a company in another sales position, right?
Okay.
At a
After
company.
you got laid off.
Yeah.
Okay, got
and
you.
Funny enough, a year into it, I was making a couple of $6,000 checks, $7,000 checks, and I was like, I think things are starting to roll. Boom, I got fired again for not performing.
Wow, so fired twice.
Yep, yeah, just one after another.
Yeah.
But I knew, like, hey, I knew I can do this. I saw what the other guys were doing when they were making 20, 30 grand a month. I knew I can do it, but something was off. Maybe my pitch was, you know what I mean? So I had a decision. I can go do a different industry, maybe give up on sales, or I can go find the next spot that had an opportunity and see if I can do it again.
Yeah.
I got a job at a new company doing the same thing. That first month I made like 10 or 15 grand.
Okay.
Right? And then I was off to the races. And then I was at that company for probably no more than a year. And every month I was basically the top person in the month. And then that's when I was really starting to make some good checks. The company was kind of small that I was working at, right? Which is great because I got to see a lot more of like the operational stuff and kind of everything was moving.
Scoop of stuff.
Yeah, it was a small company, maybe like 15 people, right? But I was making 10 to 20K paychecks, you know what I mean? And it was great, super fast, and it allowed me to like save up money and do my thing and feel a little more secure. But during the process of working at the company, I realized I saw the owner kind of not showing up as much, kind of doing his thing, right? And he was, he was working, but he didn't seem like he had like full focus on it. And for me, I need somebody that's like fully into what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
To really be bought into the vision. The previous company I was at, the mortgage company, had 800 employees. They had a huge tower. You know what I mean? So I came from that, going to a tiny little office. Yeah, guys are making some good money, but I didn't see like the vision in it. And I thought, hey, dude, if this guy can do it, I know I can do it. So before I went and quit my job and thought I was going to be an entrepreneur, I figured out, hey, I know how to do the sales. I need to figure out the marketing. Then that was the point where once I figured out some marketing strategies and tactics, I was able to generate some leads. That's when I knew I can quit. And then I just jumped ship and then I was off to the races.
So you're able to take some of those leads with you from that company?
Not their leads, right? I generated my own leads. So yeah, that's like our secret sauces here at Direct Funding Now is we generate all of our leads in-house, meaning like we do the marketing here. So we're essentially kind of a marketing company at its core. We just happen to sell business financing, right?
Yeah.
So I knew to be successful in any space, especially in sales, you need a lot of activity, a lot of leads, right? So we were generating leads at a very cheap cost, and I was able to generate leads for myself, which I was doing the sales, so I can go pitch these customers and make the commission and start hiring people to scale my company.
You started your own company. You said you had only $40,000 to your name.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
You got a 1-bedroom apartment. It was you and your brother.
It was, yeah. So I was living with my girlfriend, wife now, at the time, but we actually started at my brother's apartment. Over here in Irvine.
So then you started it, and then you said was it the first month? How much did you make the first month?
So the first month, just 2 guys in the office, I think we did like $60,000. Something around there.
How much did you guys profit off of that?
It was like 90% profit because there was no really we had a little bit of marketing costs, and it was all just straight basically cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm understanding your business model. So you provide financing to other small businesses and whatnot. So you're calling other businesses, and then you're like the middleman?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, so we're a broker, then we also lend in-house too, so we have our own capital we lend to businesses. But basically we call a business or we email them or they reply with some digital ad online, and they go to our website and then they speak to our sales team and see what options they have for business financing for their company.
So okay, when you're in the apartment, with your brother, did you have your own financing at the time?
No. Straight broker,
Okay, so straight broker. Now, fast forward to 2024, you have your own in-house financing.
Yeah.
How much does, now you don't have to share your number, but how much does one need to have to provide that financing for?
Yeah, I mean, so we fund close to $15 to maybe $20 million a month to small businesses.
I see. Okay.
So you're going to need a lot of capital, right?
So
and there's a lot of legalities and compliance and stuff like that. So we're going to be launching that pretty big over this next year.
Okay.
But primarily, since our business was established, we've been a broker. So we have a lending network of lenders that have capital that we go to basically get these customers approved, and then we basically pitch them an offer.
That's so interesting. Yeah, it's very, very easy to understand.
Yeah, it's super simple.
It's just about execution and the relationships with these lenders, right?
Yeah, 100%.
How does one get relationships with lenders? So when you're starting off with your brother and you're building your business, how did you establish all these connections and whatnot? And resources?
Yeah, so back then when we first started the company back in 2015, 2016, it was a lot more open than it is now. It's a lot harder to get into it. It's a lot harder to get signed up with these lenders. But we knew a variety of the lenders that we wanted to kind of work with. And realistically, we just had to go out and reach out to them directly. They didn't really care who was sending them business for the most part, as long as they're legit and doing honest work. They wanted people to send them customers because that's how they made money.
Of course.
So we kind of already knew by working at previous companies who we wanted to sign up with and what lenders we wanted. And it's not like big national banks. These are private funding institutions.
I see. It's not like Bank of America.
No. This is like private lending money, right? So, family offices that develop basically, they want to offer financing, so they start lending out their own capital, and they build it into companies.
Okay, so let's just say I was a customer or a small business. You reached out to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. You're like, okay, great. You contact your lender, and then they finance me. But how much do you guys get out of it? What's the percentage?
So super simple. So basically, if you go on our website right now and apply for a business loan, it could be a line of credit, it could be short-term capital, equipment financing, SBA. We do a variety of different products.
What's the website?
DirectFundingNow.com.
Okay.
So
I might have seen an ad.
You probably did. If you've been anywhere near like financing, like you've probably been like sucked into our world, unfortunately.
Yeah, I might have. Yeah. But
yeah. So when you go to our website, you apply. We basically just ask you just a handful of questions about your business. You give us the most recent 4 months of your business bank statements, and we submit that basically to our lending partners. And our minimum qualifications is your business just really needs to be doing about $250K a year gross.
Okay.
And need to be active for a year time in business.
Okay.
So the requirements are a lot lower than like a traditional bank.
I see.
The benefit for us is we can get you approval terms. Let's say like your business applies with our company within a couple hours or 24 hours.
Oh, so super fast.
It's super fast.
Wow.
And I can get you the money after that within a couple hours to 24 hours.
What's the interest rate usually look like?
They kind of range. So like it depends on what product it is, right? So like if it's an SBA, yeah, you're going to have more traditional rates. If it's a line of credit, it could be 1 to 2% a month.
Okay.
If it's a short-term capital, basically it's called a merchant cash advance, which is a lot of our business model. It's anywhere from 25% and up. So it's short-term capital. It's not collateralized, so we don't have any assets tied to it. I don't take your home if you default or anything like that. It's basically a signature loan to get the funding for your business, and then you move on, with your day.
I see.
And that's where these businesses need us because they don't have access to this capital, and we do it quick and we do it fast.
So what is the percentage you guys take when you acquire me as a customer to get financing?
So
how does that work?
Yeah, so basically the lender allows us to add points into the loan, basically, right?
Okay.
Into the advance, into the funding. So we're able to add our points. We can add in 0 points and not make $1, or we can add up sometimes up to 15 points.
But it has to be fair.
We still got to sell it to a customer, right?
Right.
So just like if you buy a property or a piece of real estate, the broker can, he can give you, 3 points commission that he wants, or maybe he does 1, whatever it is, right? It's the same type of model, but it's just different because it's a faster product.
Okay, it's like kind of like cars, like you mark up your price.
Yeah, 100%. It's like we're doing a service. We're giving you access to capital. We're providing the technology, the streamlined systems for you, and basically the knowledge for the product, and we get compensated for that.
Okay. Do you get a percentage every month too, or is it just straight?
Yeah, so our industry is pretty interesting. So if I fund your business today, I get paid by the lender directly.
Okay.
I don't get paid by the customer. I get paid by the lender usually within about a week or so.
Got you. But there's not reoccurring in that? It's just... Yeah,
so our reoccurring model is about 50% of the customers that we fund every single month, every single year, come back for more funding. Because these guys have... It's a lot of times you can't go to your local bank. You may have never applied for business financing, but it's super hard and super slow. It will take 3 to 6 months to get approved. So if you have an opportunity to go buy a business, or you're in construction and you need to finish jobs, you can't wait that long, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, the bank is faster. They want you to put your home up for the prop, as an asset collateral, right? We're fast. We get you the capital quick. We have no collateral, and you get your money and you move on with your day, and then you come back if you need us. But about 50% of our customers come back to us every single month consistently since I've been in the space.
Yeah.
So that's our kind of recurring revenue model.
What's the most money you ever loaned out?
I would say about $2 million.
$2 million.
Yeah.
And what's the requirement to get something that high?
Yeah. So it's actually not as hard as you think. They look at your industry. They look at your cash flow. So they'll legitimately look at your bank statements. Are you going negative? Are you bouncing payments, right?
Yeah.
They want to see a lot of deposits. And if you're doing, let's say, $12 million a year, you can probably get close to $2 million potentially.
Okay.
So they just want high cash flow businesses. They want to obviously have your credit, somewhat decent. It can't be completely shot, but we do work with challenging credit. And you got to be basically running a good business. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
We fund close to about $150 million a year to small businesses. But in our industry, there's billions of dollars being funded of this product every single quarter.
It's a great industry.
Yeah, so it's just never ending, and it's just the gift that keeps on giving.
How much did you say you guys generate range a year?
Anywhere from 13 to 15 million.
13 to 15 million. You get what percentage of that?
How much do I make?
Yeah, no, I mean you don't have to say the number, but what percentage do you get out of that total?
Yeah, so I have a strong belief of your business is not an ATM, right?
Yeah.
So yes, you can treat your business like an ATM, but it's gonna be hard to grow that company and reinvest it. My whole theory about running a business is, back to that first month when I started making some checks in the freaking apartment, right?
Yeah.
I could have took that money and went and bought cars and bought all this crap, all the the normal stuff, right? My whole thought process was you run a business to basically provide a value for not just your customers, but for your employees. And in return, if you do, a an awesome job with it, you get compensated more. So I was in the belief of if I grew my company and I grew it the right way, meaning I kept on investing in employees, marketing, and technology, and I scaled the company, eventually I would be making, the money that I wanted to make, right?
Yes,
but I knew that I was going to take sacrifice, not just to go in there and just pillage the bank account. I knew I had to reinvest in the company and keep hiring and keep growing the company. So I just had this almost like a belief that I knew I can build a bigger company, and I still have that same belief today. So I think it's just how you look at business is one or two ways, but that's how I looked at it, and thank God I did, because now we have a functioning organism that basically operates with or without me.
This is amazing. This whole, what do you call it? A facility?
Yeah, we have on-site gyms here.
This is crazy.
Like a little mini LA Fitness. We have showers. We have snacks here. We have food trucks come. I mean, we want it to be like, people want to come here to make a lot of money.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And have a good life and enjoy what they're doing.
So how many employees do you have right now?
Yeah, so we're close to around like 50 employees.
50 employees.
So one of our top salesperson, I think they made close to around $700,000 last year.
700,000.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Sales, Monday through Friday, not an owner of a company, not equity, none of that. This is straight sales commission.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's great.
And the gentleman that did that, he started working with us maybe 2.5 years ago. He's from the space and knew the product.
Yeah.
But you just need the right vehicle, everyone in line where that person can make the money that they want to make and provide for themselves and their family.
Now I was going to ask you this question about if somebody really wanted to do what you're doing and own a company like this, should they join a company like yours and learn the ropes, or is that something?
No, I mean,
like
I don't care, dude. There's billions of dollars that's funded every single year. So regardless of how that person does it, but yeah, you want to know the product before you straight jump into it. Like, you got to have some realm, because it is a sales organization. So you got to have some idea about sales and marketing. So kind of what I like to say is, hey, you need a high value skill. So if you're great at marketing and you can bring a bunch of leads in, great. But you better find somebody that's great at sales, because you can be horrible at sales and not feel comfortable talking to somebody on the phone and need to sell them a product, right? So you need to have sales and marketing. You have two of those things, you can jump into business financing, whatever other products are out there, right? You can jump into any product, but you need those two high value skills, because once you have those, that's when you can actually grow a company around it. You know what I mean? So but if you want to jump into it, I'd probably want to learn the space, the products, right? Maybe cut your teeth in the sales or marketing aspect of it before doing it on your own, because there's a lot of dynamics changes in it. There's a lot of hurdles just like any other business, but we're dealing with finance and money and banks and lenders and marketing and compliance. So there's just a lot of ins and outs that you have to be cautious of, but more importantly, you have to be aware of it to actually run a successful business.
So if somebody wanted to join your company right now, go to your website, directfunding.com?
Yeah, directfundingnow.com. There's a careers page. You can even hit me up on my Instagram.
Oh, like that, huh? The
Straight
actual
up.
owner?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I never did that. So I started my Instagram about a year ago, and the only reason why I did it was to network.
Yeah.
How the hell are we meeting, right?
Yeah.
So the only reason why I did is to network with other entrepreneurs, get our word about our company, whatever it was. I didn't really have a big master plan, but I knew that I was working in an office by myself and no one knew me. My employees knew me, my competitors knew me, but that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, if I want to get bigger, if I want to grow, I need to go outside of my comfort zone, right? Which is getting on camera,
and you're
posting.
natural too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's high energy or something. I don't know, right? But so back to the Instagram, I started it just to do that, right? And before doing that, I never interviewed employees. I didn't do anything. I was this guy in the office that no one knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I thought that's what you had to be.
Just low key, yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to be successful in life. So I asked myself a year ago, am I doing everything physically possible that I know to be successful, right? And the answer was no. I was scared of being out there. I was scared of talking to too many people, people knowing what I was doing or whatever it is, right? It was just a fear of mine, right? Yeah. I felt like I had to be kind of sheltered almost and protected from the outside world. But that's not the way to, you want to run a business, recruit people, and get your word about your product or service. So I decided to get on Instagram and start talking to people, and I'll do a job posting straight from my Instagram stories.
Wow.
We had 150 people apply a week ago or a couple weeks ago, straight from a story Instagram. The power of social media.
You post the link where they could apply.
Just on a story.
Got you. Okay.
On a post.
Because I was about to say, like, if people start DMing you, you probably get a lot of.
I do, but at the end of the day, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want this life, and not just this life, but I want something bigger, right? And not because like I want to spend more money and buy stupid and cars and bullshit, right? That I know because I know it's out there. I want it because it's out there and it's possible, right? So just like back when I was in sales, when I saw the guy making 10 to 20 grand, I was like, holy shit, that's possible. Now when I go talk to people that are running these mega companies, I know it's possible. So why am I not going to go try and do everything physically possible to do that?
Yeah,
and that's basically my kind of like root thought of how I operate.
What are your 3 tips for hyper success?
Yeah, so what is success to an individual, right? But at the end of the day, if you're running like a company, it's revenue and increase your revenue and profitability and all that good stuff, right? I think if you're trying to be successful and you're running your business, you got to treat it like a real business. It can't be a side hustle. Of course, it can start off that way, but at some point there has to be a break point where you need to start investing, right? And I think investing in your company, investing in your product or service, if it's digital, if it's a consumer product or whatever it is, you really need to go hard and invest all in. You know what I mean? And then once you go all in, unfortunately, you got to keep going all in and keep going all in and keep doubling down, because if you do that and you do the right moves, eventually the revenue kind of increases, right, and then that provides a better life for you. But I think going all in, sacrificing years and time and energy to build something that has longevity, that has legs, and more importantly, just build a life that you want to build, right? So if your life is content with doing whatever you're doing and hanging out with your buddies and going to dive bar, then great. But if you want a better life, you're going to have to work really hard for that, because my competitors are out there trying to kick my ass every day, right? And I have to wake up hungrier than they do. You know what I mean? So I think it's just having that hunger and having that drive to continue to drive the company and ultimately to drive your life forward.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's a great answer. What do you say to the individual that's just starting from ground zero?
Yeah.
That has no skills.
That was me, man.
Yeah,
in the beginning,
so
straight
like,
up.
How do you? I mean, because like we can try to inspire people, but they have to put in the work. But what do you
100%.
say to those people watching right
now?
Yeah,
you gotta hustle, dude. You gotta want it, right? So I remember back in my sales job, I would go in my lunch break. This is before YouTube and all that stuff. And I had a laptop, and I'd watch movies and documentaries about business, about sales, all that stuff, right? And eventually, you had your phones and you're watching a little bit of YouTube on these janky little phones, you know what I mean? And I remember watching anything I could on my lunch breaks and on my other breaks and at home. I was absorbing this information, right? I was absorbing, entrepreneurs and, again, movies, documentaries, books, whatever I could to basically get me motivated. You know what I mean? Just like probably how you want to get motivated to go to the gym, you watch, some gym content, right? And you get pumped up. Yeah. I did that for business, and I did it for years and years, right? With the doubt and the uncertainty of what I'm going to do with my life and can I even do this, right? So I kept on staying motivated, and all my buddies and all my friends, they're motivated too, and we're doing the same kind of thing, but they didn't want it as bad as me. Like, truly, I didn't even tell them I was watching this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But, I was obsessed with making more money, obsessed with it, right? So I had to get obsessed with my goals, and I had to get, basically start choosing my path. Did I want to go continue partying and hanging out around this type of friends? Or did I want to maybe just stop drinking altogether and go shoot for something bigger in my life, right? Yeah. And that's what I decided a couple years ago. I'm going to stop drinking, stop partying, and focus on my business and growing my company and self-development. And that's kind of what I think is the difference between a guy that's successful and a guy that's not. There's no way that you're going to be in your position right now with what you've built by just being half. It takes all in, and you got to be obsessed with it. You got to want it more than the other person. You got to be very particular about things and how things look and the visuals, right? So you just got to be obsessed with your product or service or whatever the hell you're doing, and you just got to want to do it better than everybody else and stay in lane and put your blinders on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true, because I've never met anyone that half anything and super successful.
No, dude.
It just doesn't happen.
They're all a little screwy. You know what I mean? I know I'm a little off sometimes, dude, but because my goals are so focused, everything else it's hard for me to focus on, right? I know what I want and what is out there, and then that's when I know I have to go after. So sometimes you sacrifice the other things in your life, but to me it's not a sacrifice anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a way of living.
Well, my man, where can people find you on Instagram?
So at The Lead God on Instagram, YouTube as well. If you want the life that you see online, you're gonna have to work your ass off for it, right? It's not gonna come easy. But if you focus over a long period of time, eventually things are gonna start to work, and then opportunity is going to hit the perfect time where your revenue, your income potential is just going to skyrocket. So just do the best you can and keep hustling.
This thing don't make any sense. I buy her in Norris and pay off her rent. Give her my love, she don't answer my text. Done this before, hate the girls I select. You say that you love me, but see